Okay, so last week we talked about the lobby being removed and the addition of PvE tiles. One of the biggest concerns with that was how would performance be affected. That's where this week's dev blog comes in. Before we get into it, just a reminder, none of this is set in stone and subject to change. If you have any feedback, go to the last Oasis Discord. They just made channels for feedback and voting on feedback suggestions, so be sure to voice your opinions there. Moving on. Nomads will now have to deal with roaming sandstorms and bad weather. This means anything left out in the open will receive gradual damage when the weather affects it. So to protect your stuff, you'll have to either confine it within your base or protect it with the environment. These storms will not only bring damaging effects, but physics as well. So if you leave your walker out, it'll not be where you left it, or there at all. These wind effects will potentially affect structures later on, such as windmills. But it's just an idea at the moment. First they have to get the system in general not buggy before they add nice features like that. These weather effects will occur on both PvE and PvP tiles, and will not only damage player-built structures, but the player as well. There are future plans of implementing armor that'll help nomads endure sandstorms and future weather effects, just not quite yet. They need to work out the kinks of the system before they look at that. So, how are they going to rework travel? No more key press required to travel. This is an interesting concept and is what raises the most questions for me. There will be roaming travel points on the edge of the map that will restrict walker size and will only show periodically. You'll find one of these routes at the edge of the map, and once in the route, you'll just leave the map rather than pressing a key. They want to improve how the user interface and the user experience impacts gameplay. So now the world map will be purely for information. When arriving upon these route access points, the Oasis, trade offers, walker size allowance, and danger levels will display. The ability to go from one region to another within seconds will no longer be a thing. Nomads will have to physically travel to these locations. The devs have two main goals in mind with these changes. A less convoluted introduction to the game and its UI. The learning curve deterred a lot of players in the early stages. The other, more important goal in my opinion, is giving the devs the ability to control queues better. So you don't end up sitting in a queue for a specific tile because you won't have access to it to begin with. Personally, I never had the issue of having a queue, but I also didn't roll around with zergs. That being said, it'll give people less control over zerging, but also give players opportunity to exploit. No system's perfect, and as always, this will be polished out in the public testing. That's it for this week. Next week will be a deeper dive into progression and how it works with rarity items. No frags, no tabs anymore. Something new altogether, but that's for next week. So be sure to subscribe to catch the next recap. Let me know what you think down below in my Discord or live on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and make the most of your day.